I don't know if I can sit in this one. I'm a little nervous. Should I? All right.
Hey.
Yo, what's up, guys? You guys excited for some AEW panel? Come on, let's go. We have Abaddon here. And the amazing Dustin Rhodes, everybody. Come on.
Y'all want me to chop her? Yes. Will I get in trouble if I chop her in here? I'm not going to do it.
Do I get a chop you
I
back?
really want to, though, really bad. No, please don't. You'll hurt me. I'm a senior citizen.
All right, guys. So a couple things. Number one, we're really excited to have Santana and Ortiz here. Ortiz is still on his way to come and do autographs and pictures later on today out in the main area, but he has some flight problems, and Santana also has some issues getting here. But I hope that we can see them really soon, and everything gets taken care of that. But I'm really excited to have you guys here, and this is going to be a great panel. So.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Abaddon, how old are you?
Oh, you piece of shit.
Shh, next one's going to be harder. Oh, she looks mad. She looks really mad right now. She wasn't ready for that
I
one.
wasn't doing it. I'll kill you.
You want me to do it again? And she said she'd kill me, guys.
I did. Oh, he's a... words I could say.
So what's going on, guys?
So we're going to have a little bit later some Q&A with people if you have questions for these guys.
We like questions. Please ask questions.
Well, first of all, are you guys having a good weekend here at Terrificon?
Yeah. Great week.
You meet some cool people?
And some weird ones.
Some weird ones? Me too, dude. Abaddon, did you have a lot of fans coming out and being excited to see you, or nervous, or?
Don't eat the mic. You can speak now. It's okay.
I got a question.
Well, are we to questions yet? Jesus.
We'll have question time in a little bit.
Abaddon, back to you.
What was the question again?
I was saying, is your normal reaction from people to be nervous to meet you? I mean, like, it's one thing to be nervous to meet, like, someone like a huge celebrity like Dustin here, or yourself, but I mean, coming up to you at the panel even is just, it's interesting.
I think most people are scared. I would be too. I think more people are curious than anything, though.
I was wondering, like, what was going to happen, especially when you're doing autographs out there and meeting people. And I was kind of glad that you're able to talk a little bit with us today. And you know, over the last couple of years, you've had a huge bump in your career and being on TV and things like that. What's that been like for you? Has it been cool, amazing?
Life-changing for sure. Definitely. I never expected anything like this. And then now that I have it, I'm gonna give my all for everything that I'm doing. And it makes you look at yourself differently, for sure, for me.
If you've been around for a while experiencing the same thing, how does that feel, you know, after being through, you know, years of WCW all the way to AEW now? You know, do you still get that kind of excitement in front of people? And
I do, but to go back to Abaddon, I met her in Denver 3 years ago, and she was so nervous, right? And I see this zombie character and how to best portray that on screen, and helped her a lot through those times that she was on television. And she has really just shot it upwards, right? She's gotten so much better. She comes to my school every week. She puts in the work. She puts in the training. She's lost a lot of weight. And she's really good, and she's an attraction. Every time she comes out there, the people go crazy, right? Because it's a zombie. You can't kill a zombie. I mean, as soon as you hit her with a chair, she's going to turn her head and look at you and probably take a chunk out of your neck. I know she loves it, and I'm very proud of her. She's doing a great job. And she's only getting started, right? For me, 34 years in August, I think I'm still as passionate as ever, and it's in my blood. I love it. Basically came out of my mother's womb ready to wrestle, right? I mean, it's all I've known my whole life. I just I try to grow the character as much as I can over the years, and try to really just give my 110% in everything that I do, whether it be changing up face paint, changing up a move, whatever. I'm 53 years old, guys, and to go out there and do some new move that is very scary to me, and it's kind of the unknown, what's it going to feel like, and then I decide to do it and it's not so bad, and then the people go, man, a 53-year-old just did that. So it lasts for a little bit, so I'll run with that, and it's great. So there's a lot of things that I won't do in that ring that I'm terrified of. And then every once in a while, I'll get a wild hair and just go, hey, let's try this. And I'll do something and I'll get a response. And it's really great. But for myself, I'm a storyteller. I like to tell a compelling story in that ring. I always have. I like to make things make sense, and I like to move people. It's not all about the move sets and what you say on the mic and all that. It's how I make you feel. If I make you feel something, whatever it is, hate, anger, happiness, you're crying or you're happy, whatever, then I've done my job. And that's going to keep you coming back. And that's the main thing to me that I really try to do each and every week. Well, not so much now because I don't work as much anymore. But I just love it. And the generation now of kids, they're really impressive. They do some stuff that is just like Ray Phoenix. Phoenix is unreal, right? I see him do that and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what am I doing in the business? I can't follow that. But see, I can. And I tell a story in a different way, and they watch it and they feel it. And I get them to where they need to be. There's always somebody on the front row, always, and I've learned this from a young age, that does not believe in the business, right? We all know it's scripted, everything about the business and what it is, but there's always somebody on the front row with their kids that hates being there. And I will look around and I'll find them every single time. I'll point them out and I'll go, that's the person I'm working tonight. And I want to get a reaction out of that person. I want to see a smile. I want to see her go, ah, with excitement. The kids are already there, right? They're having a good time. They don't care. They're just having a good time. But if I can get her to have a good time, then I've done my job right. And everybody in the building is already there. So that's what I look to do. I love it.
Does it? Are you able to feel like you can translate that well to newer people like Abaddon or people you're training with the Nightmare Factory? And how easy is it to convey that to someone that may not have had the same type of experience in different companies?
The kids today, they're different. They kind of want to do things on their own. A lot of them reach out to me. A lot of them ask for advice. And I will be more than happy to sit down and talk with them. If you're a character in pro wrestling, which there's not too many anymore, like full characters like Undertaker or Goldust or Abaddon, right? Abaddon, I can take her character and make it a movie when she's out you guys are watching it, right? When she's out there, I will make it a movie with facial expressions, her body mannerisms, her however she presents herself. And then I watch it and I go, okay, that was not good. Let's do this next time, right? And then she does it next time. She's very coachable. And a lot of the kids are, like Hobbs, he is a real good kid. And he comes to me all the time for help and things. So many of the guys do. Dante, I love them, man. And for the most part, they do listen and they are coachable. but they're going to go out there and do what they want. Like you take a Young Bucks match, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It's exciting, it's impressive, but if I'm a fan sitting at home, I need to breathe. They're nonstop. Sometimes it's no rhyme, no reason. They just go, 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 Godzilla, right? And it's just like, please slow down. So let me see what you're doing. Let me react to it. I love the reaction part of pro wrestling. That's what pro wrestling is. It's what the olden days were, you know, the 80s and the 90s. That's what I watch. That's what I enjoy, and that's what I was kind of raised on, was watching NWA and World Class Championship Wrestling, WCW. Never really watched the WWF back at that time. I did a little bit, but not much. I didn't like it. It was different. So, you know, to each their own. Some people love the Young Bucks, and I love them. They're great. But please tell me a story. I think that's very important because it still works today. Because without the old school, right, without it, there is no new school. You learned it from somewhere. Right. So add a little bit of the old school into the new school and mix them a little bit, but still tell me a story. Let me feel something.
Do you feel like it's a challenge when you have, compared to someone that wrestles a similar style to you, to someone like the Young Bucks, or, you know, if you were scheduled to fight Ray Phoenix or something like that, how do you approach that yourself?
Well, so I was in a 6-man with the Young Bucks, and I dressed up like them, right? So I went out there and had some fun, and it's great, but I was lost. They're going so fast, and I know I got to come in here and make a save or do something to somebody, and I'm like, where are we? Right? But then you just remember, because you've done it for so long, oh, this is it. Boom, this is it. There's just so many spots and movement in their matches, and they do some unbelievable, impressive stuff. And Phoenix, too. I've worked with Phoenix, him and Penta. Me and Cody worked with them on TV. And they're impressive. They're great. It's just, I like a more structured, old-school style, with a couple of new moves in there that makes everybody like, yeah.
I think the first Double or Nothing, your match with Cody, most think it's one of the best matches in AEW history, I think. It's on the very first show.
Thank you.
You set a table, and that's saying a lot. There's a lot of incredible guys in AEW. Do you think part of it is because you had the same mindset, or you guys know each other so well, when you're able to just meld with something like that?
Look, we're brothers, right? And for some reason, Vince never wanted to do it. And I asked him every year around WrestleMania time, let me work my brother. Was always shut down and told that it's not good enough to be on the show. And it really stuck with me, right? So then, you know, finally I leave there and I'm like, well, it's never going to happen. And then the opportunity arises with Cody at Double or Nothing. Now, this is a different fan base. I know it's a pro wrestling fan base, and they're probably WWE fans, but when you go into something new and unknown, it's very nerve-wracking, right? So I didn't know how they were going to respond to me coming in as from the WWE, right, into this indie fan base. But they responded in kind. And I can tell you about that night, it's like all the stars aligned in that night, right? The story was already built in. We did 2 promos, that was it. And it got such huge reaction. I go to the ring and I'm standing there, man, and standing across from Cody, and I tell this story a lot. Everybody disappears in the arena. I can see them, but I can't see them. I can hear them, but I can't. Does that make sense? You're so laser focused in what you need to do. When they started chanting Dad's name, it was pretty hard. It was tough. And I knew he was sitting up there in the rafters watching us, man. And it's just like, we struck lightning, and it happened. And we could try to do it again. We're not going to do it again. We won't get that same reaction. It was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It was once in a generational thing that these moments happen. It was a moment. And I'm just thankful that I got to do it, right? And at 50 years old then. And it was pretty impressive for me. I lost a lot of blood, though. I was pretty nauseated and sick that night.
It's a lot.
But it was a lot of fun, and that was probably my best moment ever in the business, you know. It's a top moment.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
And I can tell you, from a fan's point of view, I think AEW's hits like a nerve that a lot of us haven't experienced in a while. Where like we had up in Worcester, Massachusetts last week, we had them, and you know, all my friends all day long, so excited to go to AEW, posting up on you know, Facebook and stuff. I'm here, I'm at the arena and stuff like that. You're on edge, waiting for that music to start. And I think that, you know, as fans, I want to thank both of you and everyone else for bringing that joy and love and excitement of anything could happen any night. You know what I mean? I think that we all really appreciate that. And it's huge, you know? And I think it's an important part of a lot of our lives, of, you know, getting together with your friends, enjoying a wrestling show is like something I haven't done since I was younger. You know what I mean?
Well, make no mistake, man. Make no mistake about this. Without the fans, if we're wrestling in an empty arena, and we had that a lot during the pandemic, and it sucked. It sucked. You don't feel the energy from the fans. And, you know, we have our roster members around the ring cheering and booing. They know when to, when not to, that type of thing. Yeah. But it's not the same as a whole 10,000 seat arena screaming your name or booing you or whatever it is. Yeah. So it's the fans that keep coming back that mean everything. That's why the pro wrestling industry has been around for so long. I don't see it going anywhere. It might change over times and go through cycles, but the fans are always going to be there. We have a loyal fan base, WWE, AEW, New Japan, wherever, right? Ring of Honor, TNA. I mean, there's so many different companies now, and it's a, you know, AEW though, I'm very glad I'm here. I love it here. It's fun. It's not what a lot of people think it is. It's a lot of fun here. It is.
I think when people see you on the card, they get excited because every time since you've been in AEW, I mean, honestly, your whole career, but, you know, when we see you as a special attraction, you always knock it out the park, and I think everybody appreciates what you do out there. So
thank you. Yeah, I think for the most part, every time Tony has called upon me in a big situation, I've done very well. And yes, guys, I've had 13 surgeries. My knees are about to fall off, you know, they're hanging on by threads. My shoulders are the same way, and it's just a constant arthritis, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I don't have any regrets. I signed up for this, and I love it. And if I end up in a wheelchair, so be it, you know, but at least I got to do and follow one of my dreams and live it for so long. 35 years next week, it's a long time. It's a long time. I think my dad did 37, but he wasn't working full time that whole time. He was doing a lot of booking in the back too, and occasional, right? So it's like, it's a long career. And I've wrestled just about every person you can imagine. I mean, it's just like, I've been in so many situations, done it all, seen so many people come and go. Just blessed to still be here.
I just, on everyone's behalf, we want to thank you for all the fun.
Anything for Abaddon?
Actually, speaking of Abaddon, I wanted to bring up something big. You are in New England right now, and I want to say probably one of my favorite matches or moments that you've had. You were in Boston. You got to do a Halloween match with Britt Baker. And were any of you guys there for that up in Boston? No? Okay.
I agree.
Well, yeah, no, these guys were, and I thought it was a great time. What was that like, getting the main event a Rampage?
When I found out I was wrestling Britt, I was excited because I was like, yes, I get to show people what I've been working on at that time. Yeah. When I found out it was the main event, I went, what? I didn't know how to, like, I cried. I cried because I didn't know. Speechless, literally. I can't even talk right now, clearly. I was very thankful, and I was very appreciative of the fact that I was trusted with the main event, especially with the champion, Britt Baker, at that time. Yeah. My favorite match that I've had so far, I put everything, like my blood, sweat, and tears went into that match because I wanted it to be disgusting and brutal, and I was like, hit me with everything. I don't even care. Just I want to get messed up in this match.
Yeah.
I literally did. She had suggested, hey, do you? This is a question I've been asked a lot this week and so far regarding the tacks in my mouth. Were there any in my face? No, I wish. I feel like that would have looked really cool. My piercings, everybody was like, oh, there's tacks in her face. I was like, no, that would have looked good, though. I had suggested a couple of things, like I wanted like my face mashed in them, but we chose the super kick to the face.
Even that's a lot. I can't even imagine it.
When I heard people freak out, I was like, ah, yes.
Did you swallow any tacks?
I swallowed one.
Really?
Yeah, I
Did you poop it out?
I did. I didn't die. Because I can't.
That's one of the most violent things I've ever heard in wrestling. Amazing.
I'm metal as hell, man.
Hell yeah. You already were. I mean, I think a lot of people's reaction, honestly, the first time I ever saw you on AEW television, I mean this with the most compliment possible, but you're like unsettling almost.
Good.
Which is, I don't know. I just felt like the comment of, I had to show people. Like I would like Google Abaddon and be like, look at this, was on Dynamite this week, and you should watch because this is crazy. And I don't know, I feel like maybe you should know that is that you had that effect on fans. Mm-hmm. And also the same thing of when we, were booking Terrificon, Mitch was like, hey, who would you like to have? And they showed me, a bunch of choices. Everyone's great. Anyone from AEW would be amazing to have. But I was like, oh man, you need to get Abaddon on there too, because I was like, just look at this. You know what I mean? And we appreciate all you do, putting in all this effort. And I think I thought it was kind of interesting that everyone on the panel had some kind of cool face paint or character. And I feel like yours is almost beyond that. It's like movie type of thing that I'm sure a lot of people ask you this, but do you do all this yourself, or do you have someone that helps you?
It is all myself.
You conjure the devil in the mirror or something?
Well, I am Satan, so no, I'm all self-taught. No one does my face. Wow. No one has ever done my face. No one will do my face. I will not let it happen because I am so particular with the way I want to look. Like it's all me.
You've got some great designs. I've seen a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's not always the same, which is really crazy.
Yeah, I get bored really. I'm like, I can't do the same thing every time. That's boring.
That's awesome.
Action figures. There you go.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You get the variants there, and people will be collecting those and signing them. Then they'll come to conventions to meet you. So
yeah, hopefully.
I don't know if you're allowed to say anything about this either, but I know a lot of us are looking forward to the video game. I hope that you make it in and Dustin makes it in. But that's something we like to look forward to as fans, is seeing the different costumes and things you can be. That's the costume from Double or Nothing or something like that. So, we're looking forward to that. So,
when does it come out?
They haven't
said
a release date, but
I don't know.
They're saying like for Christmas this year, I hope. So.
I'm sure Abaddon's going to be in it, and I know I am. So
I sure hope so, and I hope you're in it. And it must be hard as someone working on this stuff to constantly update when new people come in and making sure I just worked on this thing for like a year and now they're gone. You know what I mean? But we're all looking forward to that. I own a video game store, so people, we love doing that and playing the game weekly as like leagues and stuff. So
nice.
But I think we have some questions. I want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity, or as many as we can. So you've been waiting a while. If you don't mind saying your name in the microphone and what kind of question you got for these guys.
Hello. Cool. I'm Kyle, and my question to you, Mr. Dustin,
yes, sir,
is So being a long-term fan, I wanted to ask, in your eyes, what can we expect, or what goals can we expect for you to achieve in AEW now that this is your new journey? Like you said, you're having fun. I just want to get a sense from you where your head's at.
Right now, I think my head is at passing it on. I've done just about everything, and yeah, whatever I can contribute this last year, I'll do my best. But coaching is really a lot of fun to me, and I know it's not for everybody, but for me, some reason it just clicked, and it's my next step. And I'm really good at it, and I'm very patient with it, that I've noticed. And it's like, I'm not a patient person, and I'm very patient with teaching. I love it. So if I can pass on some knowledge that has done me well in the years, that's the payoff for me, because it comes full circle like that,
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's your name, man?
Hi, my name is Drew. This is for Adaman. When are you going to take down Jade Cargill and be TBS champion?
All right.
When she stops being a bitch.
You and that bitch right now, right?
She is that bitch.
I'm so glad
Sorry,
I was the
young'uns.
first person to
You're in here.
swear in here.
Earmuffs. Sorry.
What's your name, man?
My name is Bill. I'm from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. It used to be an old WWF town. Actually, that's one of the things I was going to say is with wrestling starting to gain some momentum again and become, as it should be, very popular once again, especially with all the avenues. Is AEW going to do like the B shows and the C shows like the WWF used to? Because for probably 20 years now, we haven't seen them in our area, and it used to be something amazing to look forward to.
Where are you from?
Pittsfield, Mass, Western
where-
Mass, the Berkshires.
Where's that by? What's the biggest town?
Albany is about 45 minutes away, and Springfield's 45 the other way, so we're pretty much right in the middle.
Probably I could see us going to Springfield, maybe.
Sure.
I'm not sure.
Like, we've had, when I was a kid, I remember watching Mr. Perfect wrestle Diesel
Yeah.
at our Boys and Girls Club.
That's a good question. I know Tony Khan is more about the television product instead of live events
Right.
right now, and that's definitely easier on our bodies.
I get that.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, you wrestle once a week, you need to keep your body in tune. And
Right.
it would be nice if we had some live events and we ventured out, to the state we're in, a couple of the smaller towns or whatever, to
It'd
get
be
to the
good practice
TV in
for the younger
Boston or
guys, too,
something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And but right now, I don't think we have that on the books.
Right on.
Hopefully someday, though.
So my second question, do you agree pro wrestling is missing managers? That the art of being a manager, the Bobby Heenans, the Paul Heymans, the Jim Cornettes, Jimmy Hart, there you go. Like, what happened to those guys? Where are those quality of managers now?
Man, that was a special era, a special time, right?
Agreed, yeah.
And they really put stock in those managers. It's a little different today.
Right on.
I've always wanted a manager, and I don't think Tony sees that, right? Like, I always wanted another Marlena,
Right on.
with somebody, I don't know who it is. I think it would be cool. We do have some managers, but they don't play a huge part like they did back in the day, right? Where
Even Luna, when you were with Luna,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
amazing.
Luna crazy.
Luna was
man.
terrifying.
Luna
She
was
She
crazy.
was at the boys' club too.
She might give Abaddon a run for her money.
I think you and her would make a hell of a tag team, though, right?
I would love that.
She drugged me around with a ball and chain, man, just like crazy. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for
I'll do
asking.
whatever you want. Yeah, you got it.
Abaddon, can I elaborate on that? Is there anyone that would be your dream manager or a couple choices that you would like?
As a manager,
He's volunteering right now.
it would
That's
be.
actually a good choice.
As
It
long as
would-
I can take you with a collar and a chain and drag you
Yeah.
down to the
Hell yeah.
to the ring,
It
smack
would
you.
be. It would be Dustin for sure.
Yeah.
Be for real. Come on, who would you want as a manager?
I answered it. You.
Whoa, don't get hot. Jeez, don't. I don't want you to bite me or chop me. That's why I sat way over here.
Hey, what's your name, man?
How you doing? I'm John Best Jr. So I got a question. Do you find that you have more freedoms, input, less of a stranglehold on yourself, and more communication in AEW than previous companies you've been involved with?
You want to answer that, or you want me to go?
You go.
Okay, absolutely. WWE is very strict, and you're there, you're part of that family under that umbrella. You don't really have the freedoms to go and do these Comic Cons unless Vince McMahon handpicks you and says, I need you to go to this Comic Con, right? We don't get to do these there. And this is a really good time for us to meet the fans and kind of give back to them by seeing them and becoming a more personable thing, right? Where you're shaking hands and you're hugging and you're kissing babies and all that kind of stuff, which I love. A lot more freedom with my character, man, with my promos. Nobody's scripting it. Nobody's writing my promos. But I've had a lot of years to perfect my promo and do those. And WWE taught me a lot about those promos, right? And they were all about bringing out feeling and emotion and things, which is definitely missing. Like a lot of promos I see, they're crap. And there's no feeling behind them. It's all about, it's not really what you say, it's how you deliver it with your facials and your mannerism. If somebody's sitting at home and they're in the recliner, right? I need to get that person, a reaction out of that person. So what can I do, right? How can I drive this home to the ordinary fan out there that watches us every week? So it's very important to stay in tune with our fans. And we have the freedoms here. We have the freedoms in AEW that, and I was with WWE a long time, man, and it was, it's not, I don't want to talk bad about them or anything like that because I've kind of moved on, but it felt almost like you're in prison. I mean, you can't do anything on your own. You can't go out and get any sponsorships or anything to try to build your brand, your personal brand. I mean, I couldn't anyways with Goldust because they own that, right? But I own Dustin, but I'm not allowed to go do Dustin stuff. And it's just very hard. It's very hard when you're working on the road every single day for so long. Like some of the years I was in the business, I was working 30 days, in a row, and then having 3 days off and ride back out for 8 or something. Now it's like 4 days a week for them. For us, it's fly on Tuesday, live TV Wednesday, go home Thursday, unless you have a live Rampage. So it's a lot easier schedule. For those that are hungry, young in the business, they don't get enough reps. So WWE would be a good choice for them. They should go there to Performance Center, wherever, work the indies. You can make a nice living on the indies, right? You're just traveling around the United States with no boss. You being your own boss. Once you go there, man, you're stuck in there for a little bit. And it's for the youngins, it's okay. For me, that have seen it and been through the system and know it, it's a little rough. I can't handle it anymore.
At this point, would you take a match against a guy like Nick Gage? Would you involve yourself in a violent?
Absolutely not.
No? I think that's a good choice.
I don't understand what that would do for my career, to be honest with you. It's all about doing something for my career or somebody else's career. That's not going to do anything for me. Nothing against him. I'm not going to get my head beat open with light bulbs and barbed wire matches and all that stuff. That's few and far between. You do those when they're really, really important. Not an every week thing, like he does. That's just crazy. It's crazy. His body shows it. He's scarred to death, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Dustin, what do you think about Tony buying Ring of Honor? Does that give the younger people more opportunities and like sharing back and forth to AEW with the wrestlers, or keeping some people there? What do you think the best route is?
Well, I'm not real sure of the structure yet, right? We've only had 2 pay-per-views for Ring of Honor, and there's not been anything else. So I don't know who's like strictly going to Ring of Honor or who's not, right?
Right.
Because there's not like they shoot weekly TVs. We just shoot hours. So I don't know how that's going to work yet, or if he has made a plan and it's just not come to fruition yet. But I'm sure there's going to be something at some point.
I think a lot of people were big fans of that company and happy to at least see it go
Yeah.
somewhere where we respect the people that own it. And it looks like right away a lot of the past is being respected. And do you think someone like Samoa Joe, I know you can't really speak for him, but you know, coming into AEW and then finding out, oh, Ring of Honor's on the table now, do you think that they enjoy being able to honor that thing, or is it like kind of like an added thing? Oh, I was expecting to be, you know, in AEW on Dynamite. You know what I mean? I have no idea.
Well, there's a lot of lineage in the Ring of Honor brand, a lot of history, and it's out there. And Tony owns the tapes now, so he owns all that, and he can do anything he wants with it. Samoa Joe's a superstar, and he's going to be a superstar wherever he goes. Yeah. And he's with AEW, and now this Ring of Honor thing, so he's doing that too. I think it's great because he was at Ring of Honor for a long time, and it's like that's part of his history.
Yeah. I'll ask Abaddon when they get to go back and forth to Ring of Honor. You also see some people like Thunder Rosa going over to Japan. Have you ever had the opportunity to go to another country to wrestle, or is that something you'd like to do? I'm sorry, I don't know if you've done it before.
I have not. When I started wrestling, before I had been signed, I'd only been wrestling for a year and some change. It was really fast. And then the pandemic hit, and then, because I maybe traveled a couple of states.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's all.
I know.
You're getting there, babe.
I know. I want to go to Japan so bad. They beat the crap out of each other, and I love that. I want to be a part of that too. And I would go in a heartbeat.
I think you would fit in with what they do there. It seems like it would be a good experience. So. I
think it'd be a lot of fun. They always have fun characters too, and their outfits, like their outfits, the gear, and I don't know. I would love to.
Do you guys know is that something that someone would reach out to AEW and say, hey, we would like this person? Or is it something where someone would say, hey, I would like to go try this? Do you know if that's something that happens often?
I think
it's interesting.
It's whoever's each individual's contracts, whatever's in those, right? If I wanted to go to Japan right now, I could. I don't know what Abaddon's contract is or anybody else.
Yeah.
But after being there so long, right, for so long, I had to have things a certain way now, and I think I've earned that. And it's like I'm going to do what I want to do at this point. And for somebody young in the business, pretty much you're under this AEW umbrella. Tony lets all the talent, or most of the talent, go work all these independent shows and do all these things. Yep. So I wouldn't see that being a problem.
Were you involved with the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, working on it at all?
I was home. I was sick.
Oh.
I was sick. I had a bad stomach virus. No COVID. I took 2 tests. I was like, damn it.
That's too bad. I
felt bad.
Begin to discuss that with everyone involved, and it must have been a very interesting thing to work on. So
yeah.
What's your name, man? You got a question?
My name is Brandon, and I actually do some wrestling in Milford, Connecticut, but I retired because I got a bad injury, so I do commentating. And I have a question for Dustin. So,
yes, sir.
Basically, what is like the advantages and disadvantages of like working like with indie shows and like working with AEW, like the disadvantages and advantages?
Well, at my school, I teach for television, right? And I tell these kids, look, if you're in the independents, which at a young age, you need to go out there and get mat and ring experience in front of people, whether it be 12 people, whether it be 200, or whether it be 10,000. You need to go get that experience. Because when you're in a school, you don't really get that experience. You just have us cheering for you, yeah, but you need that fan experience. And it's going to teach you a lot of things about, okay, you think this character's great, right? It's maybe not so great when they respond in a different way than you want. Indie fans are crazy, and they're great. They're fun. But television is where it's at. That's where you're going to really build your brand. That's where you're going to take your character to the next level, hopefully. As long as you put in and do the work, right, and put in everything that you can for this, you're going to go somewhere. But it has to do with a lot with attitudes. It has a lot to do with how you present yourself in front of the public. Because today and age, we got Twitter, we got all those things, and cameras are everywhere. It's not like the olden days when I came into business, when we didn't have any cell phones or didn't have to worry about getting canceled or anything like that. You got to really watch your P's and Q's when you're, a superstar. And, you look at Roman. Roman is, he handles himself in the public eye perfectly. He's not a troublemaker. He doesn't get into trouble. He's got a great attitude. He's a businessman, right? It's a business. It's not, you don't get in the, of course you get into the wrestling industry for fun because it is fun, but it's also very damaging to your body. It's there's so many mechanics in it that are just mind-boggling to students that come in and go, oh my God, I didn't know that. No, you see it on TV, you think, yeah, I can do that. And then you get in there, I'm in the first 2 or 3 days in my school, you're like, this is not for me. And it's not for everybody, and that's okay. It takes a special kind of person. We're all nuts. You got to be stupid to want to go out there and fall on your back on the cement and get back up and say, man, that was fun, right? It's just crazy, but we do love it. And for some crazy way, it's fun. But a television company like WWE or AEW is where you really want to be. You can go out and have fun on the indies, but what do you want to make indie money or do you want to make superstar money? Does that make sense? Yeah. That's the differences right there. And like I talk to students that have been in the business a little bit, right? 5, 6, 7 years, and they're like, well, they like this on the indies. I'm like, do you want to stay on the indies or do you want to go to a huge company that is worldwide that can get you recognized for real? Or do you just want to, piss your career away in the independents? Some people do. Whatever. That's not for me. That's not what I teach. But yeah, I think that's kind of the differences, right?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What's your name, man?
Hey, Corey. I got a question for each of you. First one for Abby. Gotta say, like what the mod said, when you saw that first graphic of you appearing on Dark, I had no idea who Abaddon was, and now I've made sure to watch every single match before because it's just that presentation, that aura that you give out when you come is freaking awesome, so keep it up. Thank you. But first match on Dark was against the champ, Shida. So what was your reaction when you were like, oh, my first match on AEW is going to be against the champ, Hikaru Shida?
So my first Dark match, I was pooping my pants. I was very scared. I was, I don't know. I was very I was in shock. I was like, wow, this is really happening. What is happening? Is this real? Am I alive? I don't know what's happening right now. And he was very supportive, he could see it. And I told myself, I'm gonna go out there. I cannot let Shida down. I could not let anybody down. I gave it 1,010%. She was really easy to work with, very, very sweet. Dustin was also very helpful. Kenny also was very great about everything. It was such a fun match. I cried afterward because I was really proud that I put on something. I look back at it and I do see all my mistakes, right? Things that I see, maybe you guys don't, but I do. And to know still that at that time, that was the best match I'd ever had in my a year and 3 months worth of wrestling. That was the best match I'd ever had, because working with somebody who wanted to see you succeed as well, she made a great dance partner, and I would wrestle her over and over and over again.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah. And Dustin, I'll make this quick. So you've been there day one, pretty much for the most part. And I just went to Rampage and Dynamite in Worcester last week. Yep. And I was in Bridgeport, and out of all the Raws and SmackDowns and all the wrestling shows I've been to, the crowd environment is just different at an AEW show, I've noticed.
Sure.
All the experiences of all the live, massive arena you've been in, what's the big difference, if you had to say, between an AEW crowd over the last 3 years and some WWE crowds back in the day?
I think an AEW pop or a crowd reaction is more raw with AEW. it feels more like Attitude Era pops and crowd responses, right? They love the impressive stuff. They do. They pop at everything. WWE, though, is really the same. It's just on a larger scale. I think WWE still watches AEW. I know you have a certain people out there that they say they don't watch it or whatever, but you got two huge companies. You got TNA and New Japan now. You're getting to see more of. You got so much you can watch, right? It's just the person's preference, so whatever they like. But the crowd reactions have been awesome for us. They're awesome in WWE too. You know, I don't really see a huge difference, but
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Got a few less people up here. I want to try to get in if we can. What's your name, man?
How's it going, guys? My name's Lewis. I was just wondering, this question's for either of you two. With WWE now being like under a new regime, what are your thoughts on current AEW talent possibly thinking about making the jump once their contracts are up versus not having done so before?
Well, did you see Tony's interview?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got the few that just left there that are under 5-year deals, right? And so we got them for a while. They're not just going to up and leave. You can't do that. That's what a contract is about. As far as anybody else that doesn't have that deal, hey man, go for it. Whatever. I think experience it if you want to. If you don't like, the current atmosphere, that's a personal issue. You need to move on, right? Maybe they'll do something different with you over there. And you know what I mean? I think it's going to be a change slowly with Triple H at the helm, but it's going to be a good change. It's not going to be a bad change. And if not, it's going to be a little bit of the same plus a little more wrestling, I would say, a little more storytelling, which will be great for the business and great for wrestling fans. Yeah, I mean, you got so many places you can go now, but two places that really, really stand out are ours and theirs. Definitely. You have to be, want one of those two. And whatever you do, just make the best of it, And if your contract's up and you've had enough with AEW, go. Get the fuck out.
All right, thank you guys.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, we got two left. What's your name, man?
My name is Oscar. Big wrestling fan. I have a question for both of you. Is since AEW has been around for the last 3 years, do you think AEW can pull something big that WWE's been doing for years? Like let's say they'll have a pay-per-view like a WrestleMania, and so far I kind of been seeing Double or Nothing as their WrestleMania because that was their first pay-per-view, and we just had Forbidden Door, which was like a huge success. And do you think AEW can pull something like that, especially because I feel like what AEW is doing is show what's what pro wrestling is, what's the meaning of pro wrestling, and WWE's been, when Vince McMahon was in charge, was all about sports entertainment.
Yeah.
I think he might be referring to a stadium type show,
yeah,
a huge
Abaddon,
event.
you want to answer that? Or do you want me to? It's fine, go ahead.
I mean, companies continue to grow, right? And they make big changes. So I could see AEW definitely pulling something together that's really big in I would say 3 to 5 years for sure. Because you learn along the way with running a company, right? At least that's how I would think you would. It's like learning about yourself or learning how to do a job, right? You learn one way, then you figure out, hey, this is easier, or this is better. This is a better marketing strategy, or however. So I could see them definitely pulling something together that's really, really big. I don't know what, but whether it's a pay-per-view or a really large stadium like you stated. What do you think?
Yeah, our television over in the UK is doing really well. And, Tony's soccer team's right there, and he wants to run Craven's Cottage, which is a huge stadium, probably 50,000 people. I guarantee it will sell it out. Now, will we sell out like the United States stadiums? it's like Abaddon said, it's growth. It takes time to make things happen, right? It's not going to happen overnight, but we will get there.
Yeah, it's not
and
like-
hopefully someday.
It's not simple. It's like
Yeah.
take time.
No, I don't think so. But if you go like in Chicago, the United Center, we smack it out. It's 19,000 people. So I guarantee, if we did go to a stadium show, I would hope that would do well for a Double Nothing or All Out or something like that. Do I know if it's going to sell out? I have no idea. I mean, I would hope so, right? But we don't need to do those all the time. You have these arenas that are just fine.
Mostly, it's only meant for like pay-per-view. That's like the WrestleMania.
Big
Like,
one.
Yeah, I think we're going to go to two-day events now for pay-per-views. I believe I've heard that down the pike. So it'll be like a WrestleMania experience, right? You have 2
or the
days.
Wrestle Kingdom.
You have 2 days of Double Nothing, or 2 days of All Out, or Revolution, or whatever,
Thank you so much.
or Evolution. Sorry, what the fuck is it? Revolution?
Revolution, yeah. All right, this is going to be the last fan question. What's your name, man?
My name's Steven, and I'm from Mystic. I'm 10 minutes down the road. My question is, so you guys, AEW has been performing in Worcester, Boston, Bridgeport. Do you guys see, obviously when Tony came out at the end of Dynamite, he said he loved coming to the New England area. Do you guys see AEW coming to more venues, more specifically Mohegan Sun Arena, possibly?
That would be nice, actually. This is a great arena. I've
I
wrestled
know, Dustin,
in there.
you back in the WWE days, I saw you perform with WWE here for Raw.
Yeah, it's great atmosphere, great people. They're loud. They get loud. It's a big arena. That'd be nice. I mean, I can definitely pass on that information to our building guys, right? They're always searching, trying to get to buildings, but there's only 52 weeks in the year, right? So it's like, I'm sure they already have a set schedule, but possibly we'll get here, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I want to thank Abaddon and Dustin for coming out tonight.
Thank you, guys.
And all you guys for showing up. We really love having pro wrestling here at Terrificon, and specifically AEW. So thank you very much, guys. One more time for
Thank you guys for coming out, guys. Thank you.
Hi, this is Maisie Richardson-Sellers, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be a legend and hit that like button, and most importantly, have fun and follow your fandom.